Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is our group presentation for providing our goals and solutions towards the problems in our vision of our own version of an ecumenopolis.
Innovation in infrastructure is defined as a structured and modern approach for supporting an organization and facilitating innovation within an enterprise. These infrastructures must be made reliable and accessible to the public to continually support them without being hindered by natural calamities and ensure spaces for job opportunities. So, accessible transport infrastructure, so everyone could easily access it. Accessible public infrastructure, so normal people, those people who walk or bike could access these infrastructures. And resiliency against climate change, whether what climate is it, rainy or sunny, people could still use these infrastructures. And eco-friendly process, of course, we have to make it eco-friendly, and so that it could coexist with the nature. And the growing problem is the world population lacking in health services is 50%, and there are 1.4 billion automobile owners as of 2020. And some adverse effects of this is there will be economic setbacks, environmental health issues, and increased population under the poverty line. So solutions for that would be have ease of transport. Public transport stops at every major infrastructure. So let's say in every major building there's a stop, so that everyone could have ease of access to those public transport. And access to basic needs. So access to basic needs in one area, like for example, in the condominium building, there is a supermarket, there's a gym, there's a mini clinic or a dentist right there, and other essential stuff, so that people don't need to walk around and travel around anymore. That's like very accessible and very convenient.
The second goal that we must realize is to have symbiosis with nature. Human life is exponentially expanding in numbers as our cities and spaces take more space from nature for the benefit of human habitation. It is important that we understand how we can have a symbiotic relationship with all forms of life so that the Earth's ecosystem will be able to be fully functioning. And the steps that we must take to realize this goal are, first, to have symbiosis in agricultural life. Second is to create habitable environments for all forms of life. The third is to have the preservation of all species. We can see that this is a growing problem as there is a 68% loss of biodiversity over the past 46 years. And there is a deforestation rate from 2015 to 2020 of 10 million hectares per year. All of these problems will lead to loss of biodiversity, ruined ecosystems, and climate change. These are two solutions we can use to achieve symbiosis with nature. First is to have a limitation and adaptation of different resources, proper allocation, applied recycling, and using resources for more important projects can lead to a better environment for all forms of life. Second solution is to have restoration. Replanting lost greenery, transforming barren spaces to forests and agriculture within our cityscapes.
Being situated in an ecumenopolis, an extreme population growth will happen. With that said, having different opportunities for decent work and employment is needed in order to stimulate healthy economic growth and sustainability for the population of an ecumenopolis. Statistics show that there is a growing problem of a non-financially stable population. According to various 2020 studies, that there are 70 million individuals that are under the poverty line. Seeing this, we should prioritize the goal in order to avoid the severe effects of unemployment. Unemployment rates can severely affect an individual, which could then take effect on a larger scale by affecting the economy. At an individual level, unemployment could mean that they would not be able to sustain themselves, possibly resulting in homelessness, illness, and mental stress. At a societal level, the economy might waste their resources due to the lack of human capital or manpower. At a socio-political level, it can result to civil unrest. To achieve this goal, we come up with several solutions to do such. 1. Having new infrastructures requires an additional number of skilled workers. It opens up new job opportunities. Second, government bodies and various private sectors can also add new jobs. Third, ensuring business security and protection for those starting their own business. This is particular for small and medium businesses. Fourth, price reduction for various products and services may increase demand for such. Having an increase in demand can offer more job opportunities in order to compensate for the demand. Lastly, increased employee wages and salary can attract individuals to start applying for new jobs.
What is up? It is me, Kiko. So today I'll be talking about Net Zero Plus. So the concept of Net Zero Plus means saving energy through less carbon emission. Net Zero Plus allows us to have reserve energy in times of crisis and unforeseen challenges. The plus symbol, how the people will produce more than they need. So it has cutting on carbon emission, adaptive reuse and recycling of materials, consuming renewable energy, producing surplus amount of energy. And it is 90% increase of carbon emission since 1970. So this is a growing problem, and 78% greenhouse gas from fossil fuels and industrial processes. So these severe climate changes and lack of resources for everyone is a deteriorating environment. So statistics, the global carbon emission from fossil fuels has significantly increased since 1990. Since 1970, CO2 emissions have increased by about 90%, with emissions from fossil fuels, combustion, and industrial processes contributing about 78% of the total greenhouse gas emissions increase from 1970 to 2011. So the adverse effect, it's a threat of climate change, could be severe due to having increased emissions of carbon dioxide, and increased carbon dioxide also results to greenhouse effects.
The fifth and last goal is about innovating towards adaptable cities. We need to be able to adapt towards the climate while solving climate change by allowing cities to harness the overabundance of energy or resources brought about by climate change, such as the water from rainstorms, heat from heat waves, and others. The steps that we must take to realize this are: first, to utilize natural heat for a cold climate. Second is to have rainwater harvesting. Third, biofiltration of water. And fourth is to have natural cooling for the environment. This is a growing problem, as we see that there is 250 million additional deaths per year due to the climate. And there are $40 billion in damage due to the floods that are caused every year. All of these problems lead to future problems of broken infrastructures, difficulty in agriculture, and poor health conditions.